Oh, she's horrible. I've made a ghastly mistake.
So yesterday we were bombarded with a story of a face-to-face meeting on Monday between Iger and Kennedy, with various others represented, Alan Bergman, Dana Walden, etc. And she tried desperately to gaslight everybody in the room, blaming Iger for basically the faltering of Disney box office. Now, she could have a point, but ultimately they weren't there to talk about that. They were there to talk about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny and why it's going to be a massive flop. And the story is she basically threw EGS under the bus. She basically threw everything that she'd done under the bus and tried to blame Iger for it. Now, I have to admit, when I heard the story, yes, it sounded like a game of telephone because it got more and more un-Kennedy-like. And if you remember the last face-to-face meeting that they had, Kennedy walked out very stone-faced and quiet, didn't say anything to anybody. Okay, so I can see her trying to play to the crowd, but as far as gaslighting Iger or maybe feeling she won anything, or going as far as they said she did, I don't believe she would do that because ultimately she's a coward. Okay, now why am I going to say she's a coward? Because she won't admit she's also a sociopath. She will not accept the fact that she is responsible for any of this. So instead of facing facts and maybe resigning, we got...
That we do! On your fiery throne presiding over the damned!
So lo and behold, yesterday, I was snooping on Instagram and Frank Marshall, her husband, posted a picture of the Stonehenge monument in England. Now, the meeting was on Friday or Monday. And he posted this 15 hours ago. And he's actually in the picture. I just exploded it so we don't have to see him. So that gives them more than enough time to jump on an airplane and run away to England. Now, if you remember right, last year, they were gone for 40 days. So we've got, let's see, they went to Portugal, to Ibiza, Spain, Mallorca, back to Spain, to Provence, to London, and then she became the Duchess of Cornwall for a week or two. So they're in England right now, or they could be. Is she with them? He's very careful to rarely show pictures of her with him, but let's assume she is. Or, maybe he's with his girlfriend. I don't know. But let's assume that she is. Was this planned? Question mark.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
your lack of faith disturbing.
The fleet has moved out to flight speed and we're preparing to...
You have failed me for the last time, Admiral. Apology accepted, Captain Nida.
Been suspended from her email. Not even sure she knows. She hasn't been up in San Francisco, so she may not even know the auditors are there going through her stuff, okay? She was in Burbank for that meeting, and then she may have not run away with Frank, okay? Now, is she smart enough to see something coming? I don't think she could admit she's in deep water. I don't think she could ever admit that Indiana Jones is a flop. And if she does say it's a flop, she'd blame, Steven Spielberg. She'd blame James Mangold. She'd throw him under the bus. She would do anything to pretend that she wasn't at fault. And honestly, I think her husband is as much to blame as she is because he let it happen. He owed Harrison Ford and James Mangold some sort of loyalty there too, and he didn't give it to them because she's his wife. Que sera, sera. So, was this a planned 2 weeks vacation, or did she just say, let's go to England and avoid all this? Because last year when she ran away on that long 40-day vacation, there was shit going down. It was after Peter Rice got fired, and Bob Chapek's contract got renewed. Okay, so there you go. It was pretty much, in my opinion, it was a planned vacation, but she ran away. And it looked to me like she was trying to avoid something. And again, if she went to England with Frank, and I kind of think she probably did, this is avoiding bigger problems. Does she, again, let's ask the question again, does she know that Iger sent those auditors to go through her stuff? And again, these aren't mid-level investigators. These are out of his office. Okay, these are out of his office. So they're over Dana Walden's head and over Alan Bergman's head, okay? And they were there at the meeting yesterday. So, my thing is, she's either completely unaware of the trouble she's in, or she is aware and she ran away, okay? And it could be she ran away and isn't aware. She just doesn't want to hear about it. She doesn't want to be summoned in for another face-to-face with Iger where he drops nuclear bombs on her. And I found it very interesting how we did not hear Iger say, if Doomcock's walk-in is a real person, we do know this meeting happened. We really don't know what was said. We know she blamed us YouTubers. I hope my name came up. I really do. I hope she knows who the fuck I am. She blamed YouTubers for leaking the plot. See, that sounds like her. Attacking Bob personally like that doesn't sound like her. That sounds like the telephone tree and someone taking liberties with the myth of Kathleen Kennedy that are not real, okay? So what's going on here? Okay, we had a meeting, right? We had probably a shouting match. She blames YouTubers. We're not sure if her getting cocky with Iger was real or not. I mean, it may have bolstered her courage that Dana Walden was there. But Dana Walden could get fired tomorrow too, okay, for cause. They have right now, in my opinion, enough evidence to fire Kennedy for cause, okay? But what they're doing is they're doing their due diligence to find things that she cannot fight against, so she doesn't sue them. Because if they fire her for cause, she'll come back with misogyny, she'll come back with all kinds of harassment, sexual harassment, and all the rest of that shit. And she'll end up suing them for a lot of money, all right? So the auditors are there to find wrongdoing. And the wrongdoing is likely in the Acolyte, okay? And they can say, hey, we can give this to law enforcement, and the state's attorney of California and the Crown's attorneys in England can deal with this, okay? Or you can leave. She won't have a choice. And they've been there. They're still there, as far as I know. They probably camped out at the Presidio. There's probably a bivouac with a tent and 5 horses standing around, eating hay. I mean, that's, around the Yoda monument, or the Yoda statue. But my opinion is they're not leaving till they find something, and if they haven't left, they're finding things. Okay? This is Steph, signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.